Alright guys, like I said, we're going to work in our notebook doing the second activity, which is going to be drawing some 3D objects, some 3D shapes. And we're going to figure out how many faces, how many edges, and how many vertices each one has. Okay? So come on, remember that we have to draw, we have to write the date. Always, always, always. So we always write the date. Monday. We are in the last week of April, guys. Do you know what is celebrated this week? April 27th, 2020. All right, and remember that we're keeping on with the activities. So this is 3D shapes or solid. Oh, I forgot the solid figures. Figures. Finding out their attributes. Okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to draw is going to be the first shape we're going to do is a square, okay? And then from this one, what you can do is do this, and we're going to draw a cube, okay? So from here, we just do this, and it's a cube, guys, all right? So we have a cube. How many faces does a cube have? All right, so this is a cube. Now we need to find out their attribute. What is their attribute? All right, so how many faces does this cube have? Remember, face. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we keep counting, guys, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has 6 faces. How many edges? How many edges does this have? So okay, so we're going to write edges. And remember, edges are when one surface begins and the other one ends. So if we find it here in a cube, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A full cube has 12, okay? Oops. So it has 12 edges. And how many vertices, okay? Remember, vertices. How many does this one have? Do you know, guys, how many vertices does this one have? Let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one is 8. So how many do we have, guys? We have 8. All right. Remember what an edge is? Edge. This is one. This is one. Okay. Now let's draw the rectangular prism or the cuboid. All right, so let's do a rectangular prism. All right, guys, now we're going to draw a rectangular prism or a cuboid, okay? So we're going to do this very, very carefully because we do not want to make any mistakes. Okay? Here, we make one big square, and then away from this one, we make another one. Now that we have them, we just match, okay? We match these and these. And then here, this one, and the one that is inside, we make small lines, okay? And this is our cuboid or rectangular prism, okay? This, as I showed you, is a rectangular prism. It's square. It has a flat surface right here. It has many flat surfaces. So how many flat surfaces, how many faces does it have? Do you want to count with me? All right, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay? So it has 6 faces. How many edges? Edges, remember, edges are the lines. If we count them all together, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, because I already counted this one. So it goes 12 edges. And how many vertices, okay? Remember, vertices, corners, esquinas. How many corners does this one have? Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8. So it has the same as this one, okay? It has 8. Let's try a cone. All right, so a cone, it's pretty much like this. It's similar to a triangle, but instead we're going to do a curved line and then like this. All right, guys? So this is a cone. All right, guys, some of the cone's attributes. All right, so how many faces does a cone have? Do you know how many faces a cone has? All right, a cone has one flat surface. I don't have one, but with the ones we use for a party, for example, it has one flat face, that is the circle at the bottom. So the circle at the bottom, it has one flat face, okay? One flat face. Then it has also a curved face. It only has one curved face. How many edges? How many edges does this one have? And how many vertices? How many points? Remember, vertices are esquinas. So we only have one. So we go with vertice. It has one. It only has one. Oh, no, yeah, it only has one. It only has one. And edges. Can you tell me how many edges this one has? One. Right? Because it's a cone. So it has one. Okay? And the last one we're going to do is a sphere. We're going to try to do a sphere as much. The sphere is similar to a circle, but the sphere you can hold. For example, a ball is a sphere. So here we're going to do a circle. And all right, this is a sphere. The sphere has how many faces? How many faces does a sphere have? Do you know? All right, a sphere has only one face. You know, when you have a ball, for example, this one is a sphere. It only has one face, one. Even if many times as I turn it, it's only going to have one. So it has one face and it's curved. And how many vertices? It has none. Why? Because there are no esquinas, there are no corners here. Okay? So we have 0 vertices. 0 vertices and edges. Do we have edges? Does a sphere, does a ball have lines? So it also has 0 edges. Okay, guys? I'm going to give you, because this information, I know it's hard for you to draw these, I'm going to give you a little bit extra time. We already see the cube, the attributes of a cube, the cuboid or rectangular prism, its attributes, the cone, it has its attributes right here, and the last one is a sphere, which I have its attributes right here. I'm going to give you 15 minutes, guys. 1-5, not 5-0. 1-5. I'm going to give you this so you can draw them, because I know it's going to take you a little bit longer. Don't worry if they are not perfect. It's okay. Mine are not perfect. You can try, okay? So, all right, guys. You have 15 minutes, and I'll see you back in 15 minutes, okay?
Give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I could taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. And sooner or later it's over. I just don't want to miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming, or the moment the truth you lie. When everything feels like movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand.
10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes.
It's made to be broken. I just want you to know who I am. I just want you to know who I am. I just want you to
a pain, pain of black. Yeah.
Just anybody help. You know I need someone help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I change my mind and open up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? Now my life has changed in oh so many ways. My independence seems to vanish in the haze. 5 more minutes, guys. When I was younger, so much younger than
1 more minute, guys. $20, guys.
Hi guys, we're back after the 15 minutes that I gave you to finish the information. Like I said, remember, if you did not draw it perfectly, it's okay. And if you need a little bit more time, you can always pause this part of the video and we can continue in a few minutes when you finish writing this stuff down, okay? Alright guys, now we're going to use our book. We are finally finished with the notebook. We already did the exercises, the explanation that I needed you to have. And like I said, it's very important for you to have it in your notebook. If you needed extra time for one or the second activity, you can always pause all the videos, okay, to take a little bit more time. But I remember, I give you enough time so you can write it down. That's why in this one I gave you 15 minutes, because I know that you have to draw. And that takes you a little bit more. Alright guys, now that we're going to go into our book. Today, like I said, we're doing Smart Mathematician. So today's topic, like I told you, it's Smart Mathematician. Can I identify solid shapes? Okay, solid shapes like these, like the ones I showed you here, like a cylinder. This is a cylinder, guys. Even though it's a very small one, it's a cylinder. These shapes are made of two-dimensional ones. For example, this is made out of squares or a rectangle. Rectangle right here, another rectangle right here, another rectangle right here, and another rectangle right here to make a whole. And then I have a square here and a square here. These objects make one that I can touch. A solid one is something that I can touch. For example, a square, I cannot pick it up. I cannot, I can't. But a cube, I can have a cube in my hand, okay? So that is the difference between two-dimensional and a three-dimensional. Three-dimensional, a solid, I can touch. Two-dimensional, I cannot. This cylinder, again, it is made of a sphere, a circle, and two flat surfaces at the end. Two flat circles, okay? And that makes a sphere. All right, so when we go to our book, it says right here. Again, you're going to have the book on this side. So I'm going to be right here, okay? I need this space to be enough so you can see the book. But I'm going to have it over here as well. It says, three-dimensional shapes are solid figures that look like real-life objects. Faces, edges, and vertices, the ones that we looked already, make up shapes. Two-dimensional shapes help us create three-dimensional ones. Just like I said, a square or a rectangle helps me create a rectangular prism or a cube. In the first one, we have cube. The square is made, the squares make up a cube. The rectangular prism is like the one I just showed you. Many rectangles and 2 squares help me make a rectangular prism. A pyramid. Okay guys, so a pyramid is a little bit different. Why? Because a pyramid has a square at the bottom and then triangles that make it up. For example, the pyramids of Giza. They are made out of a square at the base, it's a square, and then triangles, 1, 1, 1, 1, make up that pyramid, okay? That's how a pyramid is made. And here in our book, we can see it right here. Then we have a sphere. How do we have a sphere? One circle is inside the sphere, but the sphere is something that I can touch. For example, the planets. The planets are spheres. They are not just circles floating. They are spheres. Why? Because I can turn them all the way around. The sun, the ball, they are many, many spheres. Okay? Now, the cone. The cone is something that I showed you in this last activity. Okay, so the cone has a circle at the base and then a triangle at the top, and together they make a cone. Like an ice cream, when you're eating ice cream, you have a cone. And then the circle, then you have the cylinder. To make a cylinder, you need 2 circles and then the body. For example, when I showed you this, 2 circles, 1, 2, and then here. This is a sphere, okay? All right, guys. So with this explanation and with the stuff that you already have in your notebooks, you can complete the activity. All right, in exercise 1, it says, look at the pictures carefully and follow the instructions. 1, circle an object with the shape of a cylinder with the color blue. 2, circle an object with the shape of a rectangular prism in red. Circle an object with the shape of a cube in green. Remember, you have to look at the picture, and then you're going to have to circle. Remember, the first one, a cylinder with the color blue. A rectangular prism with red. And the last one, a cube with green. Okay? All right. This was page 118. This is very simple. There's only one exercise, okay? And it's very, very easy. All right, guys. So now it says keywords. Remember that we have keywords. It says cube. Remember that a cube is it's made up of different squares. This is a cube, okay? Why? Because I can touch it. It's a cube. A dice is a cube, okay? This is 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares, 4 squares, 5, 6. That's why it has 6 faces, okay? 1, 2, 3. It's made out of 6 squares make up a cube. The next one is object. An object, it can be anything. It can be an iPad. It can be a water cylinder. It can be a perfume. It can be anything, guys. Object is something that you can touch, okay? Any object, a ball, for example, this is part of a lunch, you know? It's a square. It's made out of squares. It's an object. So we have many, many things that are, and the last one is a prism. A prism is the one that we just saw. It's something that is like this, that has length and that can stand up. That's what it's a prism. This is a rectangular prism, but there are a hexagonal prism. There are many, many prisms, many, many types of prisms that we're going to keep looking after, okay? But right now we are only focused on the 3D objects that we're looking at this moment. We're not going to try, and I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of stuff so you can draw and then get confused. This is the one that the book is focused on, so this is what we're focusing on for right now. All right, now that you're finished with the book activity, we're going to go to the next page, which is page 119. 119 seems very, very easy, okay? So it says exercise 2, 3, we're going to do by ourselves, and we're also going to look in the key. You're going to have another activity that I'm going to give you, okay, once we finish this, because it's going to be our first exercise of this topic, but I wanted to do the book first, okay? All right, guys, so in activity 1, page 119, it says, match each object to its shape. Then use the words in the word bank box to write the name of each shape. All right, so you have a couple of things here, objects. You have a present, a party hat, a glass of water, a ball, and a juice box, okay? So you have like a juice box. You have to match them to the one that you believe it is circle. All right, guys, so which one do you think makes up each one? We're going to try and figure it out, okay? So the present, what makes up a present? A cube, all right? So we're going to match present with cube. What makes up a party hat? A cone. You're very right. What makes up a glass of water? A glass, just any glass of water. A cup. You're right. It's made up by a cylinder. 4. What makes up a ball? What is a ball? I've mentioned it many, many times. What makes it up? Yes, a sphere. And the very last one. What makes up a juice box? A juice box is made out of a rectangular prism. Okay, so here we write the names of what we believe. All right, guys? So please write them down. I will write them down in a few minutes, but you try to write them down first. Exercise 3. We're going to do exercise 3. It says, get into teams of 3. You're not going to get into teams of 3 because right now we cannot do this because, you know, we are confined. We are in solitude. We're supposed to be by ourselves with our families and in safety. So we cannot get into teams of 3. You're going to do it by yourself. I'm going to do it by myself. And it says, roll a number, cube, or follow the instructions below for the number you get. Okay, so I can use an object. I can use, for example, this. I can use this like a die. If you have something that is cube shaped in your house, you can get it. This doesn't break. For example, I can drop it. See, it's very hard. It's plastic. No crystal, okay? Just plastic. And I'm going to take a color that I can see. For example, this is black. I'm going to take the color gold, or I'm going to take the color silver, something that you can see. And I'm going to put 1 or the circle, 2, and I'm going to put every one. All right, guys, like I mentioned to you, I'm going to use this because I have nothing else at home, but this is a cube. I'm going to take this. You can use as many things as you want, okay? If you have a pillow that has a number, you can put some tape on it. Like I said, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use my marker. It's a silver marker, and I'm going to put the dots. 1. Can you see it? All right, here, if I want to write the number 2, I'm going to write number 2, and number 3, and number 4, and number 5, and 6, okay? Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to roll it. Okay, here, this is a number I got. And right here in my book, it says, number 2, say an object with the shape of a cylinder. Say an object, the name of an object that has the name of that has a cylinder for something. So I'm going to use the one that I already showed you, and I'm going to say water bottle. A water bottle is a cylinder. There are many shapes that are cylinder, and now I keep rolling it. All right, I got number 1. So number 1 says, say an object with the shape of a sphere. Oh, a shape of a sphere is very easy. Okay, so I'm going to say ball. Another shape of a sphere is the doorknob. When you open a door, the little thing that you open it with, that is a sphere. There are many objects that are sphere. Okay, guys, so you're gonna play this game. You can play this game with your family. You can play this game with many people that you have in your house, or you can even play this with anybody or by yourself. Just to make sure that you know. If you get 1, you say the shape of a sphere. Number 2, shape of a cylinder. 3, draw a pyramid or a prism. 4, say an object with the shape of a cone. That's a little difficult. Let's see if you can get many. Draw or point to a cube. I can draw or I can point to a cube. And then 6, draw or point to a prism. For me, a prism is where I live. I live in a house that has the shape of a prism. So for me, it would be my house. I would point to my house, okay? All right, guys. Then the last one says, lines of research. Did you know that there is a famous tower with the shape of a cylinder? Did you know that there's a famous... Let's see if you can figure it out. Look it up on the internet. Famous tower with the shape of a cylinder. Let's see what you get. And then, key concepts. You have tower, torre, building, edificio. Building is an edificio. Cylinder. You already know what that is because we already looked it up. Alright, guys, so those are the key concepts that we saw this week. We are finished for today with our book. Only with our book. What is an activity that I want you to do? Alright, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do, alright? Hold on. Alright, guys, so we're now going to do our activity of the day. The very last activity of the day, which is really good, guys. And after that, we're going to watch a video to wrap up everything, okay? Alright, guys, so what is the activity that Ms. Monse has for you? I think this is going to be fun and entertaining because you're going to get to use your imagination, okay? And you're actually going to be using the sight sense. So you have to look around many places and say, oh my gosh, where am I going to get this? Or how does Ms. Monse want me to do this? Like I said, many objects contain spheres, contain rectangular prisms. They have all of these things, and you have to find them in your house, or going through a window. You're looking out the window, you can see what it is. Okay, so of course we're going to do our date, and then we're going to do the topic. So today is Monday, April 27th. Forgot there for a minute. 27th, and this is going to be a very simple activity. You're going to have to do solid objects, solid objects. Find them in your house. Find them around. Exercise number 1. Okay? Alright, so the first thing I want you to look for, I'm going to say this is a sphere. Sphere. And I think, alright, the next one, it's going to be a cylinder. Then a cube. Then a rectangular prism. Then a cone. And And the last and not least, you're going to, no, that's it. All right, so I'm going to draw the first one. Okay, Miss Monse. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot a letter. Sphere. All right, guys, I'm sorry. All right, guys, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to draw an object that contains a sphere. For me, an object that contains a sphere is going to be the planets. Remember, I always talk about the planets. So the planets contain sphere. So this I'm going to draw, and then I'm going to like make little circles. A planet, it is a sphere. It's round. The moon, many things. Color, okay? What other thing contains a cylinder? Where can I find a container with a cylinder? I'm going to show it to you. All right, so what contains a cylinder? What contains a cylinder around my house? Oh, there it is. Look, this is a cylinder. A cylinder doesn't have to be closed. It contains a flat surface, a circle right here, and then this one that is closed. But even both, they can be turned here, or they can be turned here, and it rolls, okay? So this is a cylinder, and I'm going to draw the cylinder right here. So I'm going to make a cup, and I'm going to make it like this. And this is my cup. If you want to make your cup yellow, orange, anything, I'm going to draw the little things that are right there, okay? And you can draw water if you want. You can put some water. Oops. Sorry. You can put water right here to make sure that you know it's a cup, okay? Use colors. Alrighty, guys, so to do this activity, to copy and to use your imagination, remember, you have to find things around the house or things that you think of that have a sphere. You already have one. You can draw another one. For example, you can draw a ball, the sun, whatever you want. The cylinder, you can use another thing. I drew a cup, but if you have something in your house that is a cylinder, you know, you can put it in, you can do whatever. You can draw it. A cube. There are many things that are cubed in our houses. We have many things. So you can draw something that you have in your house, or something that you saw outside, or maybe something that you remember from school, okay? So it's okay. And then the rectangular prism. I gave you one, buildings. Some buildings are rectangular. So for example, I'm going to do this one right here. You're going to do one. So I'll do mine and you do yours. Okay, so for me, my rectangular prism is, for example, where I live. You have a building with the doors, and you have different windows, and then you have over here and over here, and then this one, okay? And they all have different places. For example, you can talk about stairs to go inside, to go up them. All right, guys, so for example, a rectangular prism could be a building. This is a building. This is a planet. This is a cup. All right, guys, so I drew 3. You can draw one different, anything you want. Draw a cone, all right? Draw a cone and a cube. You're going to have, because it's a drawing, I'm going to give you 12 minutes to finish, okay? When you finish, you're going to watch a video. So 12 minutes, and then go ahead, guys, work.